I can never talk about somebody else's wallet, so I understand that. But if you got good enough and played long enough to make that a career, I think that's a sick problem.
Really?
I do.
Wow.
So these young kids, or not that young, I mean, say they're in their 20s or teens, you think it's a sick problem that they are right now superstars in their industry, in their given, I guess, sport, and they've got fan bases, and they tour, and they train, and they make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, sometimes millions of dollars a year. You think it's a sick problem?
Look, I would love to have the millions of dollars playing video games. I think the path they got to make that much money is a sick problem.
What about computer programmers? They sit inside all day in front of a computer. They end up making thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Okay, but they work 9 to 5, and they can go home and get their exercise and walk the dog and everything. My point is, these guys who now are these e-game stars that are making millions, most of them never worked a hard day in their life, sat there and played Tomb Raider for 15 hours, and suddenly, they're making millions. It's pathetic.
Yeah, but wait a second. So you're telling me that all of the tech guys, like all of the Apple guys, all the Microsoft guys, the Bill Gates and the Paul Allens, all those guys would come home 9 to 5 and then get their exercise in?
I would think so.
They're sitting in front of computers for 15 hours a day trying to program.
No, but that's a 9 to 5. You come home.
You think Bill Gates works a 9 to 5? Well, when he did work?
I would think.
You think it's a 9 to 5?
Well,
you think he punches
listen.
the clock and comes home with a lunchbox and says, "Hi, honey, I'm home." He's running $1 billion empire.
I'm not saying he shows up to work on Monday and goes, "Get me out of here" to Friday.
Like you do.
And I'm not saying he never, works extra hours and runs out of here like I do for a train. My point is, he shows up. It's not like he shows up to work, goes, "Honey, I'm not going to be home until 10. I got to play with computer." No, I'm sure he gets home.
Sometimes
There's
he
probably
does.
a pot roast in the oven, and I'm sure he had some kind of labradoodle he took for a walk up the block.
Sometimes he does have to stay all night and computer program.
Okay, and there's a winter storm. I stay all night.
And write code.
I'm not saying, but every job at some point when you get home, live life a little. Get out to breathe some oxygen. That's what we've been given. You shouldn't have chairs that are made because you're going to sit down for 15 hours playing video games. Even on a football Sunday, I will sit down for 12 hours, but in the morning, I'm up, I'm moving. I'm playing flag football and
What
going
does
for
that
walks
mean,
to
moving?
lakes.
Well, okay, I go on walks to lakes.
I do. There's a lake I walk around.
Everybody has a dog.
I get fresh air. Halftime, I go outside, I pace up and down the block, stressed out about the Giants sucking again. These guys are in halftime. They're running to play Madden.
Well, they're not even watching the football game. So does that mean you don't consider esports a sport?
No. And let's stop with this nonsense.
Well, then why did we book Rick Fox on the show? You booked him.
Well, number one, easy guest. Before I booked Tony Dungy, I had something in the hopper. Let's be honest. Number two, I am not naive to understand that there are a lot of our listeners who throw on the radio, throw on the app, and they're playing video games right now. And I'm sorry if I've offended them, but I think it does hit a lot of our listener base. I just think you guys are all disgraces. I'm such a crap producer. You know that?
Everybody that plays video games is a disgrace?
No, because I own a console. I'm not saying everybody who plays a disgrace. Everybody who plays for more than 2 hours every day.
So 2 hours is the limit per day on video games.
Yeah, I mean, unless you're having a Saturday night where you're not getting into trouble, so I'm let's have a Madden tournament. That's fine.
So if you play 3 hours of Fortnite, that's not cool.
Yeah, think about how about cut it down to an hour and a half, and for that other hour and a half, go do something with your life. Just go outside and breathe.
Can you believe you are the
play
one
handball
to
at the court.
Handball. That's
Walk the dog.
Something.
Walk around a lake.
Yeah, grab a basketball hoop in front of your lawn, or work on your jump shot. I mean, what are you doing?
I mean, again, you are the one that will dedicate 3 to 4 hours every night to watch football or preseason hockey or a basketball game. On Sundays, you're watching 12 hours of football. You'll watch pregame shows and postgame shows. Should you be somebody that should be lecturing others on sedentary, inactive life?
Yes, because I get home at 4 p.m. Eastern or around there, and 7 p.m. Eastern is when games usually start. For those 3 hours, I am at the gym, taking the dog for a walk, going for a jog. My lungs are pumping. I am telling you. I don't even relax until 7 o'clock because you need to get exercise.